Calradia, a beautiful, wide land of broken nations, a sandbox to enact your dreams of conquest and domination, a land of frustration and triumph, both for you and your opponents. Bannerlord allows you to explore, fight, conquest, govern, and more in this familiar yet different land. Based on the fall of the Roman Empire, Calradia finds itself in the midst of strife and chaos. Multiple kingdoms and clans claim what remains, from former imperial subjects to northern raiders and natives, to invaders from the east and south. In this playthrough, I will attempt to create a name for myself and my clan. We become legends of Calradia, known for hundreds of years for our impact on history. Typical playthrough of Bannerlord finds you building a military party, raising funds to feed and pay your soldiers, joining a kingdom or starting your own, and conquering Calradia's fiefs for your clan and kingdom. This playthrough will be a little different. I want to be known as an excellent mercenary fighter that finds himself traveling across the lands to serve and disrupt the kingdoms I serve or I fight. The storytellers will pass down tales of conquest, death, and destruction. We will become a force to be feared across the land. But first, we must learn who we are and start our climb into the history books. We don't even have a name or a place to call home yet. That seems like a good place to start. Let us begin. I've ran, Battanian quite a few times. They just have some of my favorite troops. I love the Celtic vibes and the two-handed swords. I have a sword of my own, a long sword, so love that kind of style. I haven't done any like Azurai or Kuzites. That might be interesting. Kuzite especially, that could be good. I do like the mounted archery. Or the Nords. I do like the new War Sails expansion. I've been enjoying, especially if you get a good fleet up quick, it's a lot of fun. And then, obviously the new village raids and things like that will make that a lot more interesting. I think I am feeling the Kuzites here. The Azurai is good. I do like their stuff, but I do think the Kuzites will be our most interesting here. The Kuzites? Bold choice. As long as it isn't the Vlandians, alright?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
With our culture determined, we now need to craft and sculpt our mercenary commander. It is not the most in-depth or interesting character creation, but I do appreciate adding this element in a game focused on early medieval military strategy and politics. We sculpt our handsome face to attract all the winches. We add a cool-ass scar because everyone loves a good scar, right? Plus the intimidation factor will help us in battle. Finally, let us craft our humble beginnings to finish out the start of our story. Cool. So, let's see here. We were born into a family of, let's say nomads. Kind of fits the lore I'm going for here. We found ourselves out in the deep steppe, coming our way west, finding our way towards the empires that we've heard so much about. But as we come out into our territory out here, as I'm learning as a kid, I start increasing my skills, I think people are starting to realize I'm actually really good at detail. I pay a lot of attention, notice the little things, what's important. I also helped in the fields. I also, I do always think trade is a good way to go. Trade really is just so beneficial, and then, obviously if you max out your trade, you could start to buy fiefs, which is super helpful. I don't really like the smithing stuff. I haven't gotten into it too much. It's just too much effort, honestly. I think I'll go this way. And then I rode with the scouts, I believe. Yeah, riding and bow, +1 endurance. And then, let's see, we're going to need some one-handed. I don't know. Let's see. What would make sense in my We'll do this. We don't need one-handed yet. And we'll start off young. Tunga. This is Tunga. And here we are. I was a little bit off on the color. It's more of a teal than the light blue, and they have the yellow. But that's fine, whatever. Okay, so we are here. I'm not seeing any tournaments around me right now. Not a big deal. Typically, the way I like to start off, everybody says, you know, buy your pigs. If they even have any here. Buy your hog. There's only one here. And then you just sell the loot you get from slaying it, and then sell that back. I think what I'll do instead, I usually just come in here. I think what I'm going to do here instead, I kind of want a better mount. That'll help get around. Yeah, I think we're good with what we got. And then let's get a new bow, actually. And that should help us out. And then the last thing we'll need is a shield. And that should be all of my money. So my plan is here, find some bandit camps. Let's do some quests too while we're at it.
Well now, stranger, peace to you. What is your name?
My name is Tunga, sir. May I ask your name? I am Jaloku. I own land around here. I speak for many of the people of this village. Heard you may need some help. Flax no longer make a profit on local market. Cannot, however, put on a caravan to sell elsewhere. Surprise over deal. 33 sacks of flax. Pay 272. Loan the product. Sell it. Bring it back at 272. Okay. This was a mistake. Especially early on, trading missions are not the best to start with due to your low trading skill. In my opinion, Jalagoku likely knew this already and decided to scam me anyways, thinking he can make an easy buck. You'll see soon enough how that turns out for him. Let's begin our journey south to find a place to trade this off. So we'll be able to get a little bit more money from it that way, and I'm not super worried about someone running up on us. Oh, there's our first group. Okay. Now, I'm not very good at early game baiting and stuff. I think what I'll do here, try and bait them with my arrows. Let's have these guys chill here. Oh, they are step bandits, of course. We'll go. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna win this one. Ooh, that was close. Okay, I think I'm gonna go a little one-handed here to win. Have any chance, really. Oh, and I'm gonna die. Maybe do this. Ah, early game Bannerlord. How I love you. This being my first playthrough on the steppes as a Kuzite, I was not prepared for the severe beating I was about to take, being used to forest bandits, looters, other kind of miscreants that are relatively easy out in the Botanian, Vlandian lands in the west. I was sorely mistaken, as you are now seeing. Bandits were too quick, they were maneuverable on their horses, I couldn't quite get my shots off, and once the horse archers ran out of arrows, they chased me down quick and turned me into Swiss cheese with their spears. This begins a cycle of being hunted down by the steppe bandits, getting free, and then getting captured again by those quick bastards. It wasn't until later I realized I needed to get as far from the steppes as possible, as I began leveling up Tunga and gaining a name for myself. As you'll later see, I end up further from home than I would have imagined, a completely foreign land for Tunga. Nonetheless, I am still able to gain some skill points in my archery and riding, which will be crucial for surviving and winning future encounters. Eventually, I'll level up as I bounce around, hostage to the steppe bandits I now have sworn to destroy, however long it takes me. Let's see. Oh, I forgot to put skills in. I'm so stupid. All right, let's do bow, one-handed, get polearm just in case. I'm not seeing myself as a huge leader here, so I'm not too worried about that. I do think a little roguery, some riding, and athletics will put me in a good place. And then let's upgrade our... let's do cunning this time. Usually I'll go social. These are just some of the best traits, but... As I'm endlessly harassed by the bandits pursuing me, I'm able to continue growing Tunga's skills, most crucially his archery and riding, since he's a true Kuzite warrior. Over time, I begin to wonder if these bandits knew they were getting nothing out of me, since I was already broke. One of the nice things about early game Bannerlord is you're always progressing, even if you're consistently losing battles. It's still good to get those skill points and get that experience. I do have deaths turned on, but we likely won't see any of those until further in the playthrough, especially for Tunga, who's starting to plot his revenge on these bandits. Make a little money. Let's see if we can't get any troops as well, and that'll help a bit with the bandits. Let's see, what's their wages right now? 8. As Tunga gets more stunned than Snoop Dogg, down their ranged ammunition and prepare to begin striking. As I'm sure you already tell, we're far more mobile and protected against these looters than we were against those steppe bandits. The looters are one of the easiest ways to level rates, like your riding, your archery, one or two-handed, whichever you decide. I'm going one-handed. Looters are far easier to deal with here. Because I don't think they have archers. Yeah, and they just have rocks they throw. So what I can do here, just bait out. Let's have them fall back. Yeah. Let them get all their throwables expended. As Tunga gets more stunned than Snoop Dogg, we whittle down their ranged ammunition and prepare to begin striking. As I'm sure you can already tell, we're far more mobile and protected against these looters than we were against those steppe bandits. The looters are one of the easiest ways to level combat early on, especially crucial traits like your riding, your archery, one or two-handed, whichever you decide. I'm going one-handed. You'll see that later on. It's also an easy way to make some early dinars since their loot isn't valuable enough to keep around, but you can hoard it and sell it at the nearest town, make a little easy dinars, and build up your retinue. They also allow to keep troops protected and alive until there's an opportunity to strike and finish them off, rather than getting chased down and slaughtered before ever getting a chance at leveling up, like with the steppe bandits. As the last of the rocks hit the shield, Tunga prepares his bow and arrows to send into the looters' faces. Let the battle truly begin. So now we should be good to start tearing them up. Perfect speed here. Just quick enough that they can't catch up. And this right here is the best way to level. This is why I couldn't do it against those steppe bandits, because with that cavalry, they're just too quick and too maneuverable to really bunch up and exploit like this. But looters are stupid, so this is fine. There's, I think that's 3. You can go try and attack those guys, go ahead. And then once I get down to like a couple, 2, 3, or 4, I'll bring my guys in, get them some experience. I just really want to make sure they don't die and that I can level. 3. I can also try a little bit of cavalry work, sorry, and get that save or that one-handed upgraded. So let's
Follow me!
bring them in.
After me! Kill them all! Die!
Nice. 7 skill points from that single hit. And we're doing that charge damage will help as well. There's another looter down, and let's bring him towards our guys. Because now... How far did you guys go? Jesus.
Soldiers! Follow me!
Alright. Get them up here. Hello, boys. How we doing? Looking good, looking good. I like these little headdresses. Those are cute. Crest the hill here.
Give them hell!
That's the little charger. We'll just sit here behind them, follow them in. Luckily, we only have the 3 left. I think we got... I know we did level up once, I believe, and then I think we got some good skill points. Not sure we skilled up enough for what I need, but this is great. And then we get some good troops. I don't really need... I don't love the peasants. I will take the prisoners, though. Take all of this loot. Perfect. Here's our first victory. Finally, we complete our first victory with our heads held high, rejoicing in the glory and blood spilt. We approach the nearest village to regroup as we are chased by another looter party, making note of the goods we collected and watching over the 2 looters we took hostage. I make my way north to the nearest town, both to offload the loot we just gained and to ransom these prisoners. After this, Tunga gets a little greedy and tries to hire expensive, higher level troops, especially the horse archer, while on his way to pay off Jaloku, forgetting he spent all of his dinars on the new troops. We make our way back south, letting go some of our troops to lower our wages, while some just leave in search of a better source of dinars. We come across a looter party in the distance and ready our weapons for battle, eager to feel the same dopamine rush we felt before. I've cut up the game and the battle a little bit for clarity and to keep this short. If you want to see the full battle, please come by the stream, get my full stream of nonsensical rants. There we go. To the old reliable. Arrow to the face is not a good day, and that is for sure. References from 15 years ago. Jesus Christ. And then we'll bring in the big guys, or start leveling them a little bit better. Don't like how quickly I ran out of money there, but I did recruit some pretty expensive guys. Oh. They're doing it already. Help my guy there. There we go. If you're trying to get a shot off, let's say you're holding it, and then eventually, you know, it starts to grow back, just hit right mouse button. It'll save you there. So we lost 3 guys. They all died, which is excellent. They didn't get injured, they just straight up died. It's probably because we don't have any medicine skill. But we did kill all but 2 of them, which is good. We can level 1 up. Take all of this loot. Having successfully wiped out another party of looters, Tunga is feeling far better about his chances in this dangerous land. We make our way to the nearest town to again sell our loot and ransom the taken prisoners. Coincidentally, the town was also hosting a tournament for everyone to try their hand at combat and the prize. Whatever. And then let's go to the arena and join the tournament. And I don't have much money, so I don't have any money. No, I can't bet. That's right. I can't bet until it hits my raft. We'll bet everything we can. What do we got here? It looks like archery. Perfect. That's what we need. Let's see if we can't snipe this guy back here. Went right over his shoulder, of course. My guy's getting taken out, which I love to see. I think my best strategy here, take out the archer before he takes me out. And then I'll advance if I can. I just don't have the skill level for this right now. Yeah, that makes sense. As is to be expected, Tunga is not good at combat, especially with a one-handed sword. We'll need to level that up more before attempting another tournament, as it's the best way to gain renown, which is used to level up your clan. Clan levels bring higher party limits, as well as more access to better quests, mercenary work, and eventually becoming a noble or even a king. In the meantime, a party of step bandits tracks us down, and of course wipes us out, leaving us with no troops. Luckily, Tunga soon sees a small looter party of 3 begins to head their way, ready to kill. I have a longer weapon that's like a pitchfork, maybe a scythe, where they basically just took the scythe and tilted it on its axis so that it was facing up rather than across. It's an interesting way of doing it. I love looking at like medieval weapons like that, where they basically just go back and go, let's take something that we have everyday life and make it better and turn it into an actual usable weapon. Won the battle, Tunga regains a little confidence that he had lost after losing all his men to these step bandits. He realizes this is a good area to track down some looters, regain some wealth, regain some troops, and climb his way back up. We are getting better. Eventually we'll be able to get better arrows, which will help too. This bow's not too bad, but the noble bow is a lot better. Like current playthrough of Britannia, where I think it's like 40 fiefs. We own all of Landia, most of the Northern Empire, a good amount of the West, and some of the South, as well as some Sturgia. And then I think Havok, the island, the Nords own that one as well. With another looter party down, we find ourselves in a good rhythm and on our way back up the ranks. Tunga is still a little broken up and distraught over the loss of his men from the stat bandits earlier, but he finds a peasant that the looters have taken prisoner and brings him into our ranks. Another looter party makes their way closer and closer, stopping Tunga and the peasant before they can sell their loot from the last battle in town. So start taking these guys out one by one. That guy's got a nice face there now. This little halfling we can take out. Let's see when my peasant dies. Because they are probably not gonna, yeah, they wouldn't last very long. Or, sorry, 3. Cool, and a level, that's perfect. Let's see if we can. Be a little more careful here. Back to the old reliable. First person this. Cool. And there we are. Although the peasant did fall in battle, he luckily was not killed. Tunga took this as a sign of his luck changing. He is gaining more experience as well with his saber, gaining 7 skill points in just one single swing, making him far more lethal without his horse or his bow, which he is also gaining more experience in. We come across another looter party, and this time, Tunga is hoping the peasant can make a name for himself. For a while, kind of instead of, I think, a couple for just like diplomacy would be full Crusader Kings 3 diplomacy kind of system, like Lint councils, but or tribal councils for like or something. That would be cool. Or it's hard to really. I'm maxed now. 5 or 6. Oh jeez, that's fine. Get my one-handed up there, and we are good to go. Your name henceforth is Janiathan. We will call you Than for short. With another successful battle under his belt, and Janiathan now named and at his side, Tunga heads into the nearest tavern and finds Sudias, the engineer, a potential companion. Let's see what he has to say.
Well now, stranger.
Tell you my story? I suppose it is a fine lesson in how destiny makes a mock of our intentions. My father was a judge, and I intended to study the legal rulings of the past, so I could follow in his footsteps. But when I went to study, my master told me that only 2 kinds of scholars were needed these days. Those who knew how to build and knock down walls, and those who knew how to stem the epidemics that spread from unburied bodies. I had no talent for medicine, it turned out, so I chose to be an engineer. I had one final flight of folly. A local academy was crumbling, so I submitted a sketch for the new one to the emir. He laughed, told me to come back with a schematic of siege engines. So go on, ask me how thick a mangonel's struts must be to withstand the torsion to throw a 5-star ball. Ask me how heavy a ram's head must be compared to its total weight, so that it does not rebound from the gate and strike the men who wield it. I'd never imagined I would know such things when I dreamed of making men's lives better through the dispensing of justice. Unfortunately, I found that siege work pays irregularly. My contracts are usually honored if the city falls and is looted, but if dysentery breaks out in the siege camp and the army must march away, well, you may find that you submit your receipts in vain. You could say that perhaps I'm in between jobs right now, so if by any chance you are looking to hire, well, I'm open to discussion. Very well. I'm going to need about 519 dinars to settle up some debts, though. Can you pay?
Having now recruited Sudias, our first companion, we decided to buy him some better equipment more suited for a cavalry role. He sallied up to Tunga and Janiathan as they headed out of town in search of more looters to destroy. As they look around, Janiathan levels up and finds some better equipment along the way, meaning we now have to pay him a little more. I think he deserves it. Finally, the quest to pay Jaloku fails, giving us some criminal raiding in the Kuzite lands and a reputation loss with him. Not that I really care. That scammer got what was coming to him, and he didn't deserve any money. Luckily, we do stumble on a looter party. We're fresh and prepared, ready for the fight. Archers to the clear. Like, we can always speed up the face. That guy got it right in the face. That guy got it right in the face. Another headshot. MLG compilation now. Man, that was fuck. Janiathan and the Vigler recruit are all safe and sound over here. I also have... Oh, it's my companion I forgot about. Sorry for the jump scare. I thought that would be a good little bit of nostalgia and fun. Anyways, we won another battle, meaning more loot prisoners to bring back to town. We sell our goods and look to stretch our legs, exploring the nearby remnants of the Calradian Empire, now the Southern Empire. Found our way to a village named Tememos, and speak to a local owner about an issue he's having. Unlike that scammer bastard Jaloku, this is a much easier quest with only one Cantarian charger horse that we're responsible for selling. After taking the horse on with us, we ride into the nearest town and fight in the local tournament. Hopefully this one goes a bit better for Tunga than the last attempt when he was killed in the first round. Let's see how he does here. Let's see. Let's let these two Do you like how quickly my guy went for his sword substance? Shouldn't be too difficult with infantrymen. Can you please focus on this guy? Thank you. Should be easy enough. Wait for his attack, hit him with the counter. Wait for him. Yep. Jeez. Nice. Okay. He has a sergeant crossbowman, so he's a little bit better. Not too worried though. Again, the AI is not very good at timing. I should time their attacks for when I'm not attacking. No. I get it. Not the easiest. Also, I feel like his eyes were weird. Alright, and we won the tournament. Tunga, having won his first tournament, is feeling pretty proud of himself. He decides to head further west in search of more glory, more looters, and more wars. As we head west into lands like Vlandia, Britannia, and so on, we start to see more warring states, large armies moving back and forth, and, unfortunately for us, deserters. We have to keep an eye out. Luckily, the first thing we encounter on our way is a looter party. Let's take them out, get some loot, and move on our way. So, crucial though is writing Jack of all trades. I have the Kuth shield for pussies. Now I am a pussy. My good old Tunga. Quite the should start seeing them drop shots. There we go. 2 down, 3 down. I guess like this. I think this is where we retreat. We're down to 7 now, so it should be a bit easier. The other nice thing about retreating is now I am back full on arrows, and now that their sling guys are down, I think hopefully all their rocks, or at least most of them, should be down. Their sling's still. How it works? I don't. Nice. He's down. At least getting involved. 1, 2, and we make our way to town after another fight and sell our wares, including the Kantarian Charger. Fortunately, we sold it for about 60 dinars less than we were supposed to, but that's no bother. With the extra income from the looters, we can afford to pay the difference, successfully completing our first quest. Heading further west, we find the Britannians in one of the empires. I can't keep track of them all, I can't lie. They're all the same to me anyway, they all are imperial. They find them at the war. We sneak in to watch the armies roll past, just full of hundreds of troops headed to siege castles and towns. Along the way, we come across another looter party, and we begin Tunga's new favorite pastime. We want to, I think, if others, my guys along battle. That's fine. I'm still doing Alberman, so getting these guys nice and loosened up will be good. Don't want to get hit. Where is my inventory? Okay, there we go. Nice. Both of them got a kill. That's perfect. Everybody's dead on their side, which is fine. I do think my plan right now... Oh, fuck. This is not great. Yeah, just like Bannerlord. Right as we're riding high, doing well, on our way up, we get tracked down by a party of deserters, which have not been paid by the roaming armies going past. You're taking up robbery instead, and are far more tanky and lethal, as they are normal troops that are acting as bandits. We unfortunately lose our troops during the battle and soon after our own life, as we are unable to break through the shields of the infantry and can't charge them without taking massive damage in return, leaving us to give up. Tragedy struck, and Tunga finds himself even more distraught than in the beginning of the video, as his loyal soldier and friend, Janithan, has unfortunately passed. Rest in peace, you brave warrior. We will meet again. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do here. That's ass. Because now we're going to have to find our companion. Lose Janithan. I lost Janithan. Still reeling from the tragic loss of Janithan, we're dragged around by the dastardly deserters until we find a chance to escape. We find ourselves at one of our lowest points, and vow to never let ourselves lose to another bandit party again. We break out of camp and sneak to the nearest town just in time to find the Battanian forces at the gate, preventing any entrance or exit. A siege has begun, and we will not be allowed in. No matter, there is a nearby looter party we can take our pain and anger out on. They never know what hit them. Nice. Sean's here. Guys out. Once I'm done, I'm very happy. It's time to start getting a party, making our way up in the world. Tired of this grind. 4 of them so far. There's. We are getting low on XP. And then yeah, with our sword. Alright. Although nothing can make up for the loss of Janithan, Tunga is feeling a little relieved after wiping out the looter party with little effort. He decides it's finally time to build up his party to take out groups like the deserters who ended Janithan's life. He will never forget Janithan and his sacrifice, and as such is dedicated to creating a force to be reckoned with by anyone, looter, bandits, or lords. We head north into Battanian lands to recruit their troops, both volunteers and archers, move around Battania in search of looters to eliminate as we're recruiting. Tunga meets Caladog, the High King of Battania, and makes note that once he is of the requisite rank, he can join the Battanians as a mercenary in their war. With a goal in mind and troops under his command once more, he finds a looter party to give his troops valuable experience in battle so that he can create his revenge army. One could call them the Avengers. After some lengthy discussions with my lawyers, we are going with a different name, the Revengers. Just wanted to clear that up for everybody. Anyways, let's get into it. Cool. Let's help out our boys here, because I don't want to lose too many of them. And the archers are now coming in. They're being very helpful. We only lost 3 guys and 2 were down. I think we only lost some volunteers though. Yeah. Our woodrunner went down, but he didn't die, which is excellent. Let's get a better archer. Let's do a clan warrior. So the clan warrior, the oath sworns are good, kind of run of the mill. My favorite though, woodrunner, and then down to the veteran folksman. These guys are just lethal, especially in sieges. They do some absolute damage. But I do think I am just about done. I wanted to get into Dunglanis. Make sure we level this up. Perfect. Get down to Dunglanis and then call it for today. But I think overall, pretty successful first stream. All right. And thus begins Tunga's journey. Old Be Going is supported by viewers like you. Thank you.